Contrary to what you've been told, earning more money will not make you rich. That's not pessimism. That's what the data actually shows, and the number that proves it is going to bother you for the rest of the day. In 2026, you need a household income of $251,000 to be in the top 10% of American earners, $659,000 to be in the top 1%. These are the numbers people quote. These are the numbers that make people feel behind, and these numbers are almost completely irrelevant to whether you actually become wealthy. Here's what nobody is saying out loud. Income percentile and wealth percentile are two different lists. You can be in the top 10% of one and the bottom 50% of the other simultaneously. Millions of Americans are doing exactly that right now, and the way the system is designed, most of them will never know it until it's too late to change. So what does it actually take? Not to earn at the top 10% level, to be there in net worth, in actual financial position, in the thing that determines whether you're free or just comfortable until something goes wrong. The answer is more specific than you've heard, and the gap between the tiers is nothing like what most people imagine. There are two separate rankings for wealth in America, and most people only know one of them. The income list is the one everyone argues about. Median household income, $83,730. Top 25%, $150,000. Top 10%, $251,360. Top 1%, $659,060. These numbers feel large. They feel like definitions of success. Entire careers are organized around reaching them. People take jobs they hate, stay in cities they'd rather leave, and work hours that cost them their health, all chasing a number on this list. The net worth list is the one that actually matters. Median household net worth, $193,000. Top 25%, $659,000. Top 10%, $1.9 million. Top 5%, $3.8 million. Top 1%, $11.6 million. Look at those two lists side by side. Something doesn't add up. A household earning $150,000 per year is in the top 25% of income, but to be in the top 25% of net worth, they need $659,000 in assets. At $150,000 in income, after taxes and basic expenses in a median American city, a family might save $20,000 to $30,000 per year if they're disciplined. To reach $659,000 in net worth at that savings rate takes over 20 years, assuming nothing goes wrong. No medical bills, no job loss, no divorce, no market crash that wipes out the accounts. And most families at that income level are not saving $20,000 to $30,000 per year. They're saving much less because they increased their spending when their income increased. New house, newer car, private school, a vacation that used to feel like a luxury and now feels like a minimum. This is the first crack in the picture, but it's not the worst part. Take two people, call them David and Mark. Both are 35 years old. Both earn exactly $180,000 per year. Same city, same tax rate, same starting point. They went to the same university. They graduated the same year. They took similar jobs at similar companies. David buys a $650,000 house in 2021. Mortgage, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, $5,400 per month. He drives a $58,000 SUV. Monthly payment, insurance, fuel, $1,300. His total fixed costs consume $6,700 per month before a single grocery run. He eats well, travels twice a year, puts 6% into his 401k to capture the employer match. He feels successful. His colleagues respect him. His Instagram looks exactly like what $180,000 a year is supposed to look like. When people ask how he's doing, he says good, really good, can't complain. Mark rents. He drives a 7-year-old Honda he paid $14,000 for outright. His fixed costs are $2,100 per month. He maxes his 401k, $23,000. He puts another $800 per month into a taxable brokerage account. He takes one trip a year. His apartment is fine. Nobody asks to see photos of it. At dinner parties, he is quiet about money. People assume he's doing okay. They have no idea. At 55, after 20 years, David has a net worth of approximately $420,000, mostly home equity he can't access without selling or borrowing. His retirement account has $310,000. He is in the top 40% by net worth. He still feels rich. He is not. If he lost his job tomorrow, he would have roughly 8 months before real decisions had to be made. He has never once thought about that number. He has thought a lot about his next car. Mark has a net worth of approximately $2.1 million. His investment accounts have grown to $1.8 million at an average 7% annual return. He is in the top 10% by net worth. He drives a used car. He does not look wealthy. He is. If he lost his job tomorrow, nothing in his life would change for at least a decade. He has thought many times about that number. It is the reason he made every boring decision he made. Same income, same city, 20 years. One of them has financial freedom, the other has financial furniture. Here's the question nobody asks. What does each tier actually feel like from the inside? Bottom 50% by net worth means under $193,000. This is survival math. One unexpected expense, a transmission, a root canal, 3 weeks without a paycheck, and the entire system destabilizes. There is no buffer. Every financial decision carries weight it shouldn't have to carry. You make choices not based on what you want, but on what you can absorb if something else goes wrong at the same time. Top 25%, $659,000, is where real security begins. A job loss doesn't become a catastrophe in week 4. There's a down payment on a house, some invested assets, a retirement account that isn't embarrassing. Financial stress fades from constant to occasional. You stop doing math in your head at the grocery store. Top 10%, $1.9 million, is where the nature of money changes completely. The investments are generating returns. The money is working without you. A bad year at work doesn't require a lifestyle change. This is the first tier where the word free applies in any meaningful sense. Not retired, not done, but free in the specific way that means your survival is no longer tied to a single employer's quarterly results. Top 5%, $3.8 million. Top 1%, $11.6 million. Here, the gap isn't in lifestyle anymore. A $2 million family and a $20 million family take similar vacations, drive similar cars, live in similar neighborhoods. The difference is invisible from the outside. It lives entirely in the mind. The $2 million family still monitors their accounts, still thinks twice about large purchases, still feels the faint background hum of financial awareness. The $20 million family has stopped thinking about individual financial decisions entirely because individual financial decisions have become mathematically irrelevant to their position. That disappearance of financial anxiety, the silence where the worry used to be, is what people actually mean when they say they want to be rich. Not the car, not the house, the silence. And it does not arrive at the income level. It arrives at the net worth level, through a process that is slow, invisible, and completely unglamorous. Here's what makes this genuinely unfair. The strategies that move someone from one wealth tier to the next are not the same strategies, not harder versions of the same thing, completely different approaches, and nobody teaches the transition. Budgeting and spending less moves you from the bottom 50% to the top 25%. That's the whole formula. Spend less than you earn, don't carry high-interest debt, start a retirement account, don't expand your lifestyle every time your income goes up. Boring, slow, works. Moving from top 25% to top 10% requires building income that doesn't require your direct labor, invested assets that compound, rental income, business equity. The question stops being how do I save more and becomes how do I build something that generates money whether I'm working or not. Nobody in the American education system teaches this. Most financial advice never reaches it. The books that get recommended are still talking about budgeting when you needed to start talking about assets 3 years ago. And moving into the top 1%, those households are not in the market the way the rest of us are. They own the businesses. They invest in private deals unavailable to retail investors. They structure their finances across generations in ways specifically designed to keep the wealth compounding long after they're gone. The gap between the top 10% and the top 1% is roughly $10 million. That is not a bigger version of the same game. That is a different game entirely. The first level, though, the one that separates the people who end up with real assets from the people who end up with high expenses, is available to almost anyone with a steady income. The only requirement is refusing to use income as a spending limit. David's $420,000 and Mark's $2.1 million. Same income. The only variable, what they did with the gap between what came in and what went out. David made that gap as small as possible because it felt like what success was supposed to look like. Mark made that gap as large as possible because he understood that the gap was the asset, not the house, not the car, not the vacation, the gap. The top 10% by net worth, $1.9 million, is reachable on a $100,000 household income, over 35 years, with a 15% savings rate invested consistently. No inheritance required, no business exit, no windfall, just the gap in time. The top 5%, $3.8 million, requires a longer timeline, a higher savings rate, or a higher income. It is not a lottery, it is math. The top 1%, $11.6 million, almost always involves ownership of something that compounds beyond a salary, a business, a real estate portfolio, an equity stake in something that grew. Income alone, even very high income, rarely gets you there. This is the actual picture, not the income tiers that get quoted everywhere. The net worth tiers, the strategies required to reach each one, and the fact that most people never cross the first real threshold, not because they don't earn enough, but because they spend every dollar proving that they do. Mark retired at 57. He sold his brokerage position over 3 years, moved the proceeds into a simple income portfolio, and stopped working. He still drives a used car. Nobody at his office party in 2024 would have guessed which one of them was free.